Well, I didn't really see a point in comparing two more hazy New England IPAs, but I haven't compared these two against each other, and I felt like drinking some more beer, so I decided, well, I'll just make a video and compare them. I'm already very familiar with the tastes of both of these. Here you have Voodoo Ranger, which is something like 87 rated on Beer Advocate, and I believe this one is too. This is 7% ABV, and I think this is 7.5. I don't know. You've seen my previous videos. You know, I have it written down here somewhere. Voodoo Ranger is rated at 88 on ABV, and it's 7.5, whereas the Maui OMG is rated at 87 and 7% ABV. Now, there's one thing, if you've seen my previous videos, that sets this apart, and that is the guava flavor that it has. And that's what gives it away for me. There's no need for me to mix these up, because as soon as I detect that guava flavor, I'll know which is which. Whereas this one is smooth. It doesn't have any unpleasantness to it. It's like drinking tropical punch. So it's good, but it's kind of boring. Because once you have something that has some kind of taste or flavor or something that sets it apart, and then you drink this, it makes this one kind of plain in comparison. But let's just get on with it. I like the smell of these. They do smell like fruit punches. As I said in another video, that guava flavor can become an acquired taste. And when I took that sip there, yeah, that was really good. Now, one thing that I like about that was, first of all, it seemed to have a harsher carbonated feel to it. There were no prominent flavors, like this one has a prominent flavor of guava. But this one has just a mix of different tropical fruit flavors. Pineapple, mango, orange, tangerine. Maybe it's got some pininess to it as well. And it's got a nice, pleasant finish. Not much on bitterness. Just everything is very consistent from start to finish, pretty much. Whereas this one, the flavor changes from the start to the finish. It isn't quite as carbonated in feel as Voodoo Ranger. There's got a sourness to it initially. Maybe kind of like a soury mango type of flavor, where soon the guava flavor begins to dominate the rest of them. And there's that a bit of a bitterness and dryness, even though it's a New England IPAs are generally considered juicy. there's some dryness where it makes you do this with your tongue. If you can understand that sensation, whereas this one, it's not as prominent. The sensation isn't as strong as it is with that one. You know, picking one of these is which one I like better is going to be tough, because I could choose one today and it might as well be arbitrary, because they're different. They are noticeably different. I could like them both, I could drink them both, but you know, let's say that I had to choose to only drink one of these for the rest of my life. Well, I could probably pick one right now, but somewhere down the road I'd probably regret it and wishing I could have some of that other one. But for instance, if I pick this Voodoo Ranger, which would be a good choice, a few months down the road after drinking this, I said, man, I could sure go for some of that mango flavor from the Maui OMG. On the other hand, if I was to pick this, would I say, yeah, I've had enough of the mango flavor. I don't think I want it anymore. I wish I had some Voodoo Ranger. Yeah, I might say that. This is almost like comparing apples to oranges. So how can you decide? Well, I don't think that I've ever done a beer review where I've had a toss-up. I've always declared one a winner. And there have been some that have been very close. There have been beers that have went up against each other more than once. And they have, in one beer won in one case, and the other beer won in another case. For instance, I believe that I compared Hofbräu and Weinstefaner, original lager, 2 or 3 times. Probably twice. Well, 2 or 3. And eventually Hofbräu won, I believe, 2 out of 3. And the same thing with Hofbräu against Czechia Budweiser. Pretty sure they went up against each other 3 times when I did the 32 beer bracket triple elimination. So there were cases where, you know, the top beers who had won started going up against each other, and more than once in a few cases, and as many as 3 times, because it was a triple elimination bracket. So in order to be eliminated from that bracket, you had to lose 3 times. So what do you think about this? I'm gonna go with the Maui OMG. I think that that guava is starting to grow on me like mold. I am beginning to acquire a taste for it. I like the bitterness that this beer has. It's got something that sets it apart from the Voodoo Ranger, which is boring. It's good, but it's boring. So I'm going to call this one from Maui. Now, as I've said before, in my videos, And even in my descriptions for various videos, all my beer comparisons are subjective and unscientific. As a matter of fact, the winners are based on a mood, pretty much. What am I in the mood for? So there is nothing that you should take as gospel truth with the results of any of the videos that I post and do beer comparisons. Do it yourself, because you might have different tastes than I do. Sometimes I'm in the mood for a bitter beer, and sometimes I'm in the mood for a not so bitter beer. Sometimes I'm in the mood for a citrusy beer, like one of these. Sometimes I'm not. But there have been some beers that I have compared multiple times that have consistently done well. One of those being Hofbräu Original Lager, which I've mentioned several times. Hofbräu Original Lager is not undefeated in my beer challenges. However, it has a very good win-loss record. I've compared it against numerous beers. So if you just go by win and loss, it's not valid, because some beers that I've only compared once and have won, well, they got a 100% win-loss record. But that doesn't mean that they're the best. Because some of those beers, I can tell they weren't ideal for me. Now you take something, some of the three of my top beers, Hofbräu Original, Weihenstephaner Original Lager, and Budweiser from Bohemia. Those beers will always be good for me, in my opinion. And, there are others. There are some also that are generally always bad. That I've tasted them, I've drank the beers in enough quantity to be able to pick up a taste or pick up a characteristic about the beer that I just don't like anymore, and I can't drink it now without noticing whatever it is that I don't like about it. Some of those beers would be Red Stripe from Jamaica. There was a Canadian beer, was it Labatt's? I don't know. Peroni Nazuro is another one. I just don't like them. And every time that I drink them, I can taste what it is that I discovered about it that I don't like. It's kind of like the same thing as being able to unsee something that you've seen before. Like Roseanne Barr Naked. I haven't seen that before, but I can only imagine. Now you'd never be able to unsee it. So, yeah, it's good. It's a good beer. At least it is today. And that's good too. But I like the strength that this one has. So, thanks for listening to me ramble on for 15 minutes about nothing important. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this, especially if you stuck through to the end. And if you didn't stick through the end and you didn't see this, so I can say fuck you for not sticking through to the end, and you would never know it. But I'm not going to say that. Because, if you even clicked on it, started watching, you got bored, that's better than not clicking on it at all. So thanks a lot. I appreciate it. And once again, I'm out.